Have you ever heard a question that sounded innocent, but deep inside, something told you it was wrong? A gentle tone, a harmless smile, and yet, the moment you answered, you realized you had just stepped into a game you could never win. This is the art of the liar. They don't just lie with words, they lie with questions. And if you can't see through the disguise, you'll get trapped doubting yourself, apologizing for things you never did, until you start fighting against yourself instead of them. The ancient Romans knew this well. Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, they warned us. A liar rarely attacks head-on. They plant tiny seeds of doubt and then wait for you to destroy yourself. 2,000 years later, the tactic hasn't changed. It's only become more subtle. In today's video, we'll break down the 5 most dangerous questions liars ask to manipulate and control you. More importantly, I'll show you how the Stoics would respond. Calmly, clearly, unshakably. By the end, you'll have the tools to ensure you'll never be anyone's pawn again. Stay with me until the end, and if you find value here, consider subscribing, not for me, but for yourself, so you never miss the next lesson that could sharpen your mind and strengthen your spirit. Question 1. Why are you being so sensitive? At first, it sounds harmless, almost like concern. But don't be fooled. This is the very first bullet fired by the gaslighter. Hidden inside that question is not curiosity. It's accusation. What they're really saying is, you're weak. You're imagining things. The problem isn't me, it's you. Pause for a moment. Think back. Have you ever been in a relationship where the moment you pointed out something wrong, you were brushed aside with a laugh? Oh, you're just too sensitive. Or maybe at work, you question the ethics of a decision only to hear, don't overreact. It's just business. That's not concern. That's a weapon, because what they're trying to do is strip you of your greatest defense, your awareness. They want to take your sensitivity, which is really a radar for danger, and twist it into a weakness. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Manipulators know this. They plant seeds of doubt in your imagination until you begin to question yourself, until you start believing you're the problem. But here's the truth. Sensitivity is not weakness. Sensitivity is awareness. The person who feels deeply often sees the cracks in the wall long before anyone else notices. Think of a financial analyst who spots small inconsistencies in the books, mocked as paranoid, yet later proven right when fraud is exposed. Think of a wife who senses a subtle change in her husband's behavior, dismissed as overreacting, only to discover betrayal months later. In both cases, sensitivity wasn't a curse. It was the early warning system. Pause for comment. Have you ever been shamed for being too sensitive, only to later find you were right all along? Write aware in the comments. So, what would a Stoic do? Marcus Aurelius once said, "If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake, I will gladly change, for it is truth that I seek, not victory." A person who truly values you will never shame your awareness. Only those hiding something fear your perception. So next time someone throws the line, "Why are you being so sensitive?" don't get angry. Don't defend. Simply look at them and calmly reply, "I'm not being sensitive. I'm being observant." Does that make you uncomfortable? One sentence, and you'll watch as the mask begins to slip. Question 2. You trust me, right? It sounds gentle, almost sweet. But beneath the surface, this is not a question. It's a trap, because anyone who demands trust instead of earning it has already revealed their hand. Think about it. A trustworthy person doesn't need to beg for your faith. Their actions speak louder than words, day after day. Consistency builds trust, but when someone insists, "You trust me," right? What they're really saying is, "Don't think, don't question. Just hand me the keys to your mind." Epictetus warned us, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Liars use this truth. They frame trust as a test of loyalty. So if you hesitate, you feel guilty. They make you believe caution is betrayal. But caution is not betrayal. Caution is wisdom. Think of the business partner who won't show you the numbers but leans in and says, "Trust me." Think of the lover who hides their phone yet repeats, "Don't you trust me?" They're not building trust. They're demanding blind faith. And blind faith is the breeding ground of betrayal. So how would a Stoic respond? With calm detachment. This is apatheia, the discipline of not letting emotion override reason. When faced with, "You trust me," right? Pause, breathe, and say, "Trust is earned through consistency. Are you asking me to ignore my judgment?" That single line flips the entire frame. Now the spotlight is on them, not on you. A liar will stumble, deflect, maybe lash out. A person of integrity, they won't be offended. They'll keep showing you, day after day, that they are trustworthy. Remember, trust is not a gift handed out under pressure. It is a fortress built stone by stone through truth, time, and consistency. Mid-video CTA if you're still watching. It means you're awake. Hit like now so YouTube knows thinkers like you still exist. Question 3. Are you accusing me of something? This one is clever. It looks like a simple question, but in reality, it's a shield. A way to flip the frame and put you on trial. Here's how it works. You raise a concern. You notice something doesn't add up. You ask a fair question. Instead of answers, you get a sharp counterattack. Wait, are you accusing me of something now? In an instant, you're no longer the observer. You're the villain. The spotlight shifts off their behavior and burns down on you. This tactic forces you into defense mode. You rush to explain yourself. You backpedal. You say things like, No, that's not what I meant." And in that moment, you've lost your ground. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best answer to anger is silence." But silence in Stoicism does not mean surrender. It means refusing to play on someone else's terms. Think of a courtroom. If the guilty can make the judge apologize, the trial collapses. That's exactly what this question is designed to do. Make you the one who feels guilty. So how do you respond? With stillness, with composure. The next time someone snaps, "Are you accusing me of something?" Don't rush. Hold the silence. Maintain eye contact. Wait 2, maybe 3 seconds. Then calmly reply, "Should I be?" 3 words. That's all it takes. But those 3 words flip the pressure back where it belongs. Liars expect panic. They never expect power. Real-world examples. A boss confronted about missing funds. "Are you accusing me of stealing?" A partner questioned about secrecy. "Are you accusing me of cheating?" The goal is always the same. To turn your search for truth into an attack, you must defend. But the Stoic refuses to be baited. He knows truth doesn't panic. Wisdom doesn't apologize for observation. Pause for comment. Have you ever been cornered by this question and felt guilty for simply asking? Comment "seen it" if this sounds familiar. Question 4. Would I ever lie to you? This one is poison, wrapped in velvet. It sounds tender, almost wounded, as if you've insulted them simply by doubting. But ask yourself this. Why would someone even need to ask this, unless they already sensed you were close to the truth? Would I ever lie to you is not really a question. It's theater. It's a performance designed to paint them as noble and you as cruel for doubting. It's not about honesty. It's about guilt. Because if they can make you feel guilty for doubting, You'll silence your instincts and hand them what they want. Blind trust. But the Stoics remind us, truth is never offended by scrutiny. Seneca said, "If it is not true, do not say it. If it is not right, do not do it." A person of integrity doesn't need to swear they'd never lie. They let their actions prove it. Day after day. Think of real life. The partner who hides messages but insists, "Would I ever lie to you?" The coworker dodging accountability but says, "Come on, would I really lie?" The more they plead innocence, the more you should question. So how would a Stoic respond? With calm clarity. The next time someone asks, "Would I ever lie to you?" Pause. Let silence stretch. Then reply, "That's not the question. The question is, would I know if you did?" That single line flips the frame. Liars thrive in fog. Your answer switches on the floodlight, and once the light is on, shadows cannot hide. Mid-video CTA, if this is opening your eyes. Subscribe now, not for me, but so you never miss the next Stoic habit that protects your mind. Question 5. Can't we just move on? This is the liar's final card, the desperation play. When denial fails, when distraction fails, they turn to exhaustion. Can't we just move on? On the surface, it sounds like peace, like closure, but look deeper. It's not about resolution. It's about escape. What they're really saying is, I don't want accountability. I don't want to face the truth. I just need you too tired to keep digging. And that's how many lies survive. Not because the liar outsmarts truth, but because the truth seeker grows weary and gives up. The Stoics knew this tactic. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Notice, he never added, "unless it's inconvenient." Truth has no expiration date. It does not fade just because someone wants to move on. Examples: a company caught in scandal. Let's not dwell on the past. Let's focus on the future. A spouse exposed in betrayal. Why keep talking about it? Let's move forward. In both cases, the plea isn't for healing. It's for silence. So how does the Stoic respond? Not with rage, not with endless arguing, with steady resolve. When someone asks, "Can't we just move on?" Breathe. Then calmly answer, "I'll move on when I understand what happened, not before." That one line anchors you in truth. It tells the liar you cannot be rushed. Your peace is built on clarity, not fatigue. Stoic thinking to avoid manipulation. Liars thrive on emotion. They don't need facts. They don't need logic. They only need you to lose your balance. They'll shame you as too sensitive. They'll guilt you with, "Don't you trust me?" They'll trap you with, "Are you accusing me?" They'll perform innocence with, "Would I ever lie to you?" And when all else fails, they'll exhaust you with, "Can't we just move on?" That's their battlefield. Not truth, not reason, but emotion. And this is exactly where Stoicism offers a shield. Epictetus taught, "Some things are in our control, others are not." This single distinction is the foundation of freedom. When you know what belongs to you and what doesn't, you cannot be enslaved by their tactics. When they try to guilt you, their feelings are not your responsibility. When they accuse you of being too sensitive, remember, awareness is a strength, not a flaw. When they try to wear you down, time itself is neutral. Truth has no deadline. Pause for comment. Which of these 5 questions have you faced most in your own life? Write it below. I read every comment. The Stoic doesn't react at the liar's pace. He observes. He breathes. He chooses his response with precision, like a swordsman holding the blade steady in the middle of chaos. Imagine standing in a storm. Winds howl, rain lashes, thunder roars, but inside, you remain unmoved. That is the Stoic state of mind. Calm when others lose control. clear when others are blinded. Because here's the secret manipulators never expect. Their greatest weapon only works if you give them your reaction. Take that away, and the weapon shatters in their hands. Silence as strength. Silence is not weakness. It is strategy. Observation is not passivity. It is power. Detachment is not coldness. It is liberation. Next time someone tries to twist your perception, don't rush. Don't panic. Simply ask yourself, is this within my control or outside of it? With that single question, you reclaim your freedom. You become calm. You become clear. You become unshakable. This is how Stoic thinking breaks every chain of manipulation. Mid-video satie. If this resonates with you, hit the like button right now so YouTube knows thinkers like you still exist. Conclusion. You now know the 5 dangerous questions liars use to manipulate. Each one is a chess move. Each one is a trap. But you are no longer the pawn. You are the player. The Stoic does not shout. He does not rage. He sits steady, gazes into truth, and lets the liar reveal themselves. Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, they all knew the same reality. The man who sees clearly is dangerous, not because he is violent, but because he cannot be controlled. So remember, you are not cruel for having standards. You are not harsh for seeking truth. You are not weak for noticing deception. You are awake, and in a world of shadows, the awake are feared. Choose clarity. Choose reason. Walk as a Stoic warrior, calm, observant, unshakable. Final CTA. If this message spoke to you, tap like, subscribe to Stoic Habit, and share it with someone who needs it. And in the comments, write just 3 words. I choose clarity. Because in a world of lies, clarity is the ultimate rebellion.